Yo, welcome back, man. It's been a little while. Matt,
What's
how are
up?
we?
I'm good.
We're doing all right. We've missed football. We've missed you guys. If you guys are new here, welcome. If you guys are coming back, we appreciate you guys coming back. Things look a little different around here. New logo, new background, new starting scene. I mean, we're giving it all out. Well, some of it, not all of it. We got some stuff hiding from you guys still, but
Yep.
it's just me and Matt this year. We're gonna have a lot of fun. This is gonna be our first little episode of the 2025 season. We're gonna dive into some of the awards, MVPs, all that good stuff, divisions, fantasy rankings, stuff like that. I mean, dude, I'm just for me, this is exactly what I've been waiting for all year long. Not being dramatic, like this is the best time of the year. I
Right.
mean, it's the best time of the year.
It's week 0, but we'll dive into the week 1 as we get to it next week. But right now we get to talk football and kind of just go through our predictions coming up.
Yeah, what can even we're excited and just dive right into it. I guess you know what I mean. We have some graphics for the division stuff, but what we're gonna do first, we're gonna go through the awards. Last year, if you guys, this would be so cool to have like a production team to be like zoom back in on us talking about it because me and Matt were
Right.
super heavy on Joe Burrow being the MVP. And let's all be real, if they made the playoffs or had a season record that they should have had, he was MVP. I mean, he was
He threw up
phenomenal.
ridiculous numbers,
Yeah.
right?
He was
I
still
mean,
in discussion even with missing playoffs, which just tells you everything you need to know. Um, but I think that's what makes it fun, right? Is to be able to have these long shots and then look back at them towards the end of the season. So what you guys are going to see on the YouTube side is we're going to be making playlists on there. So you guys will see our first season, and we kind of did it like middle of the season. Last year was our full first season that we did. So this is kind of our full second year that we'll be kind of on this journey with you guys. Um, but we'll be able to look back now, right? Is week 0, like you said, kind of prediction awards title on the episode. And then even in the middle of the year, you might want to look back at this episode and be like, hey, who did I have winning the division? Who are are we how are we looking
right.
here? And hopefully one of us nails a couple of these. Because
That's what
it'd be great clips, right?
Yeah, that's where like right here we'd insert clip of last year, you know, did we get anything right? Did we, like you're
Which I
saying,
think somebody did, didn't they? Did you?
I got one. So how
Did
many
someone guess the defensive rookie of the year last year? Is that what? Is that
I
what?
I did. I was heavy on, kind of predicting Jared Verse getting an opportunity at defensive and he got the defensive rookie. So what is that? 1 out of like 5 or 6. So
Hey,
I'll take it.
at those odds, you take it, right? Because some of the odds there are
Yeah.
like you're in the thousands sometimes. So it's like if you hit one out of
And I feel like we were half right with Joe Burrow. We knew it.
we
He
still
had a
get we'll
great
take like half of it, right?
Yeah,
It's
he had a great
yeah.
season, great numbers. So, in our hearts, it was Joey B.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into it. I think ours are going to be pretty different. It's going to be crazy. I think if we hit a couple of these together, because we have no idea what each other picked. We wanted to keep it kind of an initial like shock or like, oh my god, we had the same pick, or like, oh my gosh, you think he's actually gonna, whatever it might be. So we're like buckle up because it could be getting a little crazy. I have some crazy names on my list.
All right.
But we'll start out with MVP. Who do you have selected for MVP of the 2025 season?
All right. So, as you saw, the craziness I threw into our draft for fantasy, I'm high on Josh Allen.
Okay.
I wrote his name down. I crossed his name out.
Okay. Wrote it back
And,
down.
I'm going back to back Joey B.
Really?
I'm going Joe Burrow
Okay.
MVP. I think he, all the hype behind Jamar Chase at the number 1 pick in most drafts, number 1 wide receiver. I think he's got an opportunity to put another similar year. Obviously, hopefully the team does better and they make the playoffs. And he's got an opportunity with Chase Brown, coming into that role as just a premier back. I think this offense just gives him the opportunity to be on that platform of MVP.
Yeah. When I was going through it, I definitely pondered that, I just when I look at it, I'm like, how many guys have done it back to back? And then, like you said, like the Jamar Chase thing, when you see the guy number 1, it's like, look at the last like 5 years of the guys that have been projected number 1 in fantasy and they like never do good. So it's just
Right.
like, man, I really wanted it to. Like, so I'm all in. Like I if it happens, I'm just as happy as you will be. because I feel like it'll be a makeup from last year. This year I got a little crazy. I think the name I'm gonna say is gonna shock you for sure. Um, of course I debated Jalen Hurts, but I didn't do it.
I thought you
It's
might,
it's
but
it's gonna it's gonna shock you, but I think at the same time you might be able to understand. I went with, just to give you odds reference, a plus basically 2,000 on it with Justin Herbert.
wow.
Yeah, I knew that one. That one was a deep one. It was deep in the
I don't
drawer.
hate it.
Yeah,
Here,
I
listen.
know.
You'll see my division.
Yeah, I know.
Spoiler
That's
alert.
why I was like, he's definitely a Chargers guy.
I am on board with. I mean, that's a crazy pick right there, but I'm actually on board with it. I love what could happen, right? So obviously, a lot of stuff has to happen for that to come to fruition. But
Yeah, the way I looked at it is, we saw McConkey last year, right? We saw how great he was when we did all of our DK lineups. He was in one of our lineups almost every single week, right? He was great. They bring Keenan Allen back. They draft a rookie. I think his name's like Lambert Smith. He's been playing. He's a big kind of stretch down the field guy. He looks good, right? They have some other weapons, right? And then you look at the running back. They draft Amari Hampton, and then they have Najee Harris there, and their O line is just solid, right? So it's one of those things where year one you took the Chargers to win the AFC West last year, right? That's year one of Jim Harbaugh is what I meant to say.
correct. Yeah.
Year two, no shocker, you're probably going the same thing, right? After what you just said. So, but my thing is we talked about it even last year. You're not going to fix the ship in 1 year, right? Now, year two, that foundation is set. Jim Harbaugh is getting things ready to go, and people forget either year one or year two of Justin Herbert's career. He had a MVP type season. He didn't win MVP, but he had an MVP type season. So now you give him better weapons than what he had last year. Guys that can actually catch. I mean, look at when we talked about the Chargers wide receiver core last season. It was a joke besides McConkey, right? The guys couldn't even catch a football. Yeah. They couldn't catch the flu, right? So if you give these guys, yes, Keenan Allen's old. I get it. I could already see the comments on this video of Keenan Allen. Really? That's the difference. But he's got great hands, right? If he can stay healthy this season, which he did play well with the Bears last season when he was healthy. But I mean, I'm all in on it. It's definitely a little bit of a shocker one for sure. But I mean, what are we doing here if we're not shooting, for the stars, right?
I'm not upset. I'm not upset.
Yeah, I knew it would catch you by surprise, but I also knew that you would slightly be like, okay, like let's do it,
Yeah.
That's gonna move us straight to offense. We'll write down the list. Offensive player of the year. Who do we have?
I don't know. I feel like I'm loving the fantasy mix with the awards. I'm going number one running back this time, Bijan Robinson or Bijan.
Is Dijon Mustard? So Bijan. That's how he wants to be called. Okay. I will still call him Bijan. I apologize in advance.
I know. I'm trying to think which one I just said.
I think everyone still will say Bijan instead of Bijan. Sorry, but that's just But Bijan Robinson, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I think he's just going to get the workload to where you saw, to me, I want to compare him to CMC when he gets just that full workload and then dominates too, right? So I think in an offense like that, that's what they're going to just absolutely be run heavy with. I think he's talented. That kid is fast. He's elusive. I think he's going to just run away with it.
Absolutely. I love that your MVP pick is my quarterback in our league together, and then your running back pick or your offensive player of the year is your running back. I love that. We can just keep it rolling down the list.
Yep.
Another one that might shock you, especially with me being an Eagles fan, but my offensive player of the year, I went with CeeDee Lamb. I think the addition of with the addition of George Pickens, people see that as, oh, now CeeDee's volume is going to go down, right? Look at Jamar Chase. Guy just won Triple Crown with T. Higgins right behind him, right? We debate about who's the best wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2 combo. We talked about Hill and Waddle and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and all these 1-2s, right? Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, whatever. George Pickens opens CeeDee Lamb up more than he's ever been, right? That's the best number 2 they've had there since CeeDee's been a part of Dallas.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
And we pre-podcast were just talking, getting ready to things go. And I was in the middle of a draft at the moment, and the one thing that you said to me was Dallas's backfield is a mess, right? And that's kind of what Cincinnati's was before Chase Brown came around. Right? It was just like Zach Moss is not the guy. They don't know what they're doing over there, and they were just launching the ball down the field. Same thing with Dallas, right? They're indoors. They're going to throw the football.
As long as they block out the sun from the one end zone,
Correct.
I think you are correct.
Yeah, we're gonna call Jerry after this, and we'll get maybe some curtains or something. But yeah, I really do. It's a long shot again. I went back to back plus 2000s just to give you guys an example. But I can really see CeeDee Lamb winning Offensive Player of the Year because I genuinely think I think the George Pickens and how much Dallas might be down, especially if they're going to lose Micah Parsons. We still don't know yet, right? That's news that we're not even going to get into.
Yeah,
but
they have to, but
right. It's one of those things where the defense could even get worse, and they're going to be throwing the football a hell of a lot over there. Which brings us to the defensive side of things. Speaking of Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year, Matt. Who do you have?
All right, so this one,
Micah Parsons.
this one might shock you, but I don't know. So, or you're gonna tell me it's a homer pick.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna stack my, just while I'm talking about it. I think he's gonna be the defensive player and the comeback player of the year.
Okay, you're gonna one or two people here, and you can keep going, but you're going one or two people here. You're either going Max Crosby or you're going Aiden Hutchinson.
Yep, Aiden Hutchinson.
Okay, that's what I thought. I really did think broken leg.
Yeah, he's a cyborg now. They put him back together.
I saw the video. Of him talking about it. So you ever seen the leg whip or whatever he got? He's like, I have a steel rod in my leg. I'm starting to get used to it now.
Yeah.
Like
so new and improved.
Yep.
Aiden Hutchinson. That guy's got so much heart. You saw the talent from him, and now so much adversity of having to come back from a horrific injury like that.
Yep.
So, I mean, it sucks losing your defensive coordinator. Anytime that happens, there is some reworking you got to do. He just got so much talent. He's set up for success with this Detroit Lions team that I think the storyline of this one is just going to be, too much. I think it's going to be one of those things where if he has the same success that he was starting to have, like you saw it when we looked at it, the sack leader, he was still in that top sack leader
weeks later.
So I think he's got a great opportunity to not only be comeback player, but defensive player of the year as well.
Yeah, I like it. I definitely thought when I was going through it, I'm like, I think right now, number one, I think for a defensive player is Aiden Hutchinson in terms of odds and comeback, I think as well. Oh, actually, no, comeback is not. But defensive player of the year is the highest odds is Aiden Hutchinson. I went with Max Crosby.
Okay.
I went Max Crosby. I thought that's where maybe you were leaning towards Michigan guy, right? Come back or, not Michigan University, but just a Michigan, raised guy.
Listen, if he would have done the deal and came over to the Lions, then absolutely.
And we talked about it for a while, right? I mean, you guys were in desperate need. But the way I look at it, man, is he's on the board too for comeback player of the year as well. But you put him in Pete Carroll's defense, right? You think about Pete Carroll, you think about that Seattle Seahawks defense that just dominated Peyton Manning the Super Bowl, right? Yep. Just the Legion of Boom, right? And so I think Las Vegas Raiders defense is going to look completely different with what they do, and I think Max Crosby could really do some damage if he can just stay a little bit healthy, right? Same thing with Aiden Hutchinson. Stay a little bit healthy. He's a monster. Yep. Which comeback player of the year now, which if that's how you were just talking, I'm assuming maybe it's match pair and pair, but maybe not. Maybe you want to spice it up a little bit. But comeback player of the year, who do you have?
So that's Aiden.
I didn't know if you were like honorable mention comeback player of the year as well, or like you're just double downing on it. Yep.
I'm throwing him into both of those categories. I think obviously
if he wins defensive, he gets comeback. But if he wins comeback, he might not win defensive. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Sure. Absolutely. Comeback, I definitely thought about it just because I knew the comeback would either be that. The leading one at the moment actually is Dak Prescott, which is interesting, which kind of leads
Okay.
towards my CeeDee Lamb offensive player of the year is just like if they're gonna try and fix things here, you know, Dak's gonna have to get going, right?
Yeah.
But comeback player of the year,
As an Eagles fan,
I know.
I was
I
gonna
don't want it
say
to happen. I couldn't take it.
you
Yeah, I
can't
couldn't
give
take
me
it.
both
I'll take
CD and
CD.
Dak.
Yeah, I'll take CD, but I'm not taking Dak Prescott,
Okay.
right? Um, Joe Milton's gonna come in for the Dallas Cowboys and do it. Comeback player of the year for me though, I did CMC. I fell down the CMC TikTok and just watching him explode again, and I'm just like, man, this guy.
His calf?
Well, maybe in like week 3,
Okay.
it might be right. You ever see the video of like the turkey leg of CMC's calf after I draft him? But like somewhat his explosiveness, it's like it's back again, and like they didn't rush him back last year, right? They just kind of tanked last year. They just accepted it, right?
Yep.
And um, I'll talk more. We'll talk more about that because when we get into divisions, we can definitely go in a little bit deeper. But I mean, you talk about the weapons that are down for them, right? They lose Debo. Ayuk is still going to be out for a little bit. So Ricky Purcell is kind of the number one with Juwan Jennings still dealing with some injuries as well. I think it's shoulder. So it's like we talked about it earlier when I drafted Kittle in a league. It's like 49ers are going to be brutal on the offensive weapons this year. And I think if CMC just stays healthy, I think you're going to see that same like 20 touchdown volume. And I think like you just easily win it if he comes back and puts up.
Yeah, I was looking at his stats. So obviously from the year before when he wasn't when his calf didn't explode. But nearly 1,500 yards on the ground, but obviously 14 touchdowns, 7 added on to that for receiving, 67 receptions. Like,
Yeah.
everything's rolling through him. And then obviously when you have that safety valve of Kittle as well,
Yep.
he has success if huge if right
And that's
if
the
he
argument
stays
too. I can
healthy.
see the argument of like they're gonna use him so much he's gonna get hurt. I totally can see it. Like I get it, right? But I also
That's why
think that's why they got Brian Robinson Jr. though. I think they're
yep.
gonna do what they did with like Barkley in Philly is they're gonna kind of let him in, but they're not gonna overuse him, right? They're gonna let him just do his explosive plays when he's good to go, and then use someone else. They're not gonna give him 30 carries a game, right? 30 touches a game. But those decisions are all coach decisions, right? So that leads us right into coach of the year. Who do you got for coach of the year?
So we talked about this pre-production. Obviously you can pick one of the teams that you think is going to take it all, right? Someone that's going to lead to success, playoffs, have a chance at winning it. I'm looking at Mike Vrabel. I'm looking at someone that we already know is a proven coach. That he's got a
A guy that we
opportunity.
vouched for how many times last year that he should be a
Exactly.
head coach.
I think this Patriots team is on the rise. I think now if you can take this team that's not where they used to be, right? If you can now take them and project them and have success with a team like that, I think that puts you up for coach of the year. So that's why I really like
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel here.
Yeah. He was a leading odds guy that I saw on there. Another one that'll make you happy is I went Jim Harbaugh. I think if he somehow comes out of the AFC West, right? Wins that with the Chiefs
Yep.
dominating it for how many years now? It's been like 7, 8 years, it feels like, or even more, maybe. Like if he can come out of there and win the division, right? And just go to the AFC Championship or, whatever it might be, right? It's like I genuinely think, especially if I'm putting MVP at Herbert, it's like things are probably going to be going in the right direction for that Chargers team. And I just think, like I said, like year 2, it's like you put up double-digit wins, right? That's kind of that turnaround that the Chargers team has been looking for a little while because they've been short of the 10-win margin quite a bit in the last 5 years or so.
Yep.
But offensive rookie, there is a lot of explosive rookies this season, and I feel like last year maybe like because if you think about it, last year your picks were Marvin Harrison Jr. and Jared Verse. Think about how like mainstream media that's an easy choice. Those are the top 2 guys, right? Now this year, I feel like, and last year's draft class was so stacked between Marvin and Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors. Like there were so many like great offensive weapons that's how for sure we were all. I think all three of us last year took Marvin Harrison Jr. to
I
win
think
a
so
rookie
too.
year.
Yeah, a lot of hype around him.
And he flopped on us, which I'm still on board with him year 2, just to throw that out there. Not that it matters, but I still am. I really do think he'll have a turn on year. But this year, there are just so many guys, especially offensively, that we're getting whispers of this guy's going to take the job, and this guy's going to take the job, and this guy's going to be. And so it's like, you can list off 5 right now. I can give you 5 guesses, and there's a good chance you're still probably not right at the end of the season. And that's just a crazy take.
That's
right?
the toughest part. Yeah.
So with all that being said, right, throw the dart out there. Who do you got for offensive rookie?
Yeah, just exactly like you said. Do you go wide receiver? We got a lot of guys that have a great opportunity. Do you go running back? Do you go quarterback? To me, that stand up straight beast of a running back, Ashton Genty. I think he's obviously, as a premier back, he's going to get the ball a million times.
Yep.
And if he has, half of the success that he had in college, I think he has, a shot at winning, offensive rookie.
Yeah. It was tough for me not to go him. He was the lead guy on the odds, and I was just like, man, I would want to go Marvin Harrison last year and then go the number 1 guy.
So much
again.
hype at the same.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, I gotta try to be right, or you know what I mean? I gotta try to be right. So, but I did stay with running back, and I went with Travion Henderson. You talked about Mike Vrabel, right? We talked about the running backs that have played for Mike Vrabel. Derrick Henry, right? Not saying that by any means Henderson's Derrick Henry. He's a totally different running back, but we've just seen nothing but hype about this guy, Travion Henderson, in New England. And you talk about a team that's rebuilding, right? What's the first thing Vrabel's going to do? He's going to fix the O-line, D-line. He's a trenches guy, right? That O-line's going to be figured out. That's why they drafted Will Campbell in the first round. Or I think with the 6th pick or something like that, or whatever pick they had, 4, 5, 6, whatever it was. It was top 10 pick though. Sorry, Patriots fans, I don't pay attention to your team that much, but I know you guys picked Will Campbell because I saw the small hands thing. Okay. But you guys are dialing it up on that O-line. Travion Henderson is explosive, man. I mean, we're talking like Todd Gurley explosive, right? I mean, this guy, he's returning kicks in preseason for 100 yards, right? I mean, he's the real deal. And I think if they line him up right, they got a little. Drake May's going to have a good year too. Diggs kind of get that vertical stretch where New England's been struggling with wide receivers. We talked about how many times do we have a fun fact on the screen of one guy having more yards than their entire receiving core did, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Henderson's he's gonna benefit off of them getting some talent at that wide receiver core. So I really do think Henderson has a really good chance. I think there's a lot of running backs though. Talking about Bill, RJ Harvey, Jaden Blue. I mean, there's a lot of rookie running backs that really have a chance at. I mean, we even mentioned Omarion Hampton, right? Of the Los Angeles Chargers. It's like,
so it's who gets that starting job, and then who
actually runs away with it, literally.
Yep.
Defensive rookie.
I went boring here too. I went Abdul Carter.
Same. I knew we'd have one pick together finally. I went Abdul Carter. I was like, Matt took Jared Verse, and it was the lead pick, and I'm going to go Abdul Carter. So that way the podcast is collectively correct.
We can get one. Yep.
We got one, boys. 1 out of 6.
Yep.
He's a monster, man. Right? There's a reason that he went. There's not even an explanation needed for that type of guy. Just like Jared Verse, right? It's like that's why you get what you get when you get a guy that talented. You look at some of the defensive ends that get drafted or defensive tackles that get drafted that early. They're guys like Myles Garrett. They're guys like J.J. Watt. They're guys, when they have that caliber, that's why they get drafted.
It translates.
It always does.
So easy at the defensive spot right there.
They're just monster human beings, man. They're 6'6", and they run routes like a wide receiver. It's just like they're ridiculous. Their speeds are unbelievable.
How do you stop them?
Exactly. Before we move on to the top 5 fantasy rankings, we wanted to throw in a fun one. We didn't do this last year, but Matt did throw it in at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know when you threw it in. Like I don't know what the subject was or what the context was.
So
Matt just threw it out. Like
so last year, what we did is we were walking through our home team.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So I went through the Lions schedule. If you haven't noticed by now, if you're just sticking with us, I'm a Lions fan. Jake is an Eagles fan. Fancy is a Packers fan. So when Fancy was going through his Green Bay schedule, we got to about the midpoint, and they were matching up against the Saints. And I said, I don't know if their head coach is still going to be sticking around by the time they play you here. And it was that dude in the visor, Dennis Allen. I really thought Saints, and I think I was probably a week or two off, but I had it spot on that
Yeah.
he was the first coach.
Yeah, you even doubled down. You're like, he will be the first coach to get fired this season. So
Yeah.
we wanted to like kind of have a fun, like we were just about to start up. And I'm like, should we just do like a first coach fired?
Absolutely.
We have no idea what we said here. Mine will probably 100% be different than yours because I'm going to route that like it's gonna shock you a little bit. But I'll let you go first because you literally guessed it right last year.
right.
So who do you have the
So-
first coach being fired?
All right, let's see if I can go 2 for 2. So for me, it's the Giants situation, big market. I swear I don't know how he didn't get fired last year. Dable has no chance
Really?
at sticking around. Yeah, I swear they were going to fire him last year. I don't see how he stuck around. So
Yeah.
I don't see, I mean,
The team is starting to look a little bit better. Their defense does look good, but yeah, you have to be on like the edge of your seat if you're him right now, right?
it's
Like
too big of a market
yeah.
to me
Yeah.
and I don't think they're going to have enough success. I think this is the year they get it done.
Yeah, mine might not happen at all. But if it does, I think it happens quickly. Mike McDaniel. I think they've had enough. I think they've had enough of the. I think they just had. He had that one year where Waddle and Hill and everyone was so explosive, and Tua was this, and then since then they can't win in the cold. They don't. They can't win a playoff game. Like the team got way worse last year, and I mean they already have Devon Achane questionable, like Tyreek Hill questionable. Like there are the injuries that you bring back Darren Waller as your tight end. It's like they trade away John. They're losing guys on defensively. They traded Jalen Ramsey. It's like they're scrambling, and I think it's the start of the look of just like he's not the guru that everyone was just like this guy's him, like this he's a genius. It's like he had one good year, and I think that luck is running out, and I think the owner's patience is like getting a little bit tired of him of like the cool. It was fun at first, and then I think it's like it's like okay.
When the offense is humming and you guys are just looking amazing, then you kind of take that quirky, cocky, weird attitude out of him, because
he's vaping on the sideline, right?
Yeah, it is fun sometimes when he's like that, but and they're winning.
You have to be winning though. Yeah, you have to be winning.
I kind of like that if they start to trend in the wrong direction like they did last year.
They start off 0-3, 0-4. I think he's gone.
Yep.
I think he's gone. But who knows? I mean, they could just be explosive this year and then end up like he's great again. I don't know. Like we'll find out. But there's my take. This part of it won't be clipped. The first part of it will though. But that leads us right into we'll just rip off. We're gonna do top 5 quarterback, top 5 running backs, top 5 wide receivers, top 5 tight ends. I'll let you go first. I'll let you keep going first. So you can just list off your top 5 quarterbacks.
All right. So on quarterbacks, I debated kind of in between my middle picks here. I crossed out number 3, but I've got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels.
Wow.
To me, what stands out, obviously you see a lot of these guys when we talk about fantasy, it's your legs, and what you can do on the ground that really separates you because those are just built-in points. You get the rushing, and then obviously the rushing touchdowns are huge too. So you see 4 out of the 5 guys here that I chose have that rushing upside and rushing TDE upside too.
Yeah. So we nailed 4 out of 5 there. One all the way through 1, 2, 3, 4. I got Allen, Jackson, Burrow, Hurts. 5th. Let me just disclaimer as an Eagles fan, I put Jalen 4th. I put Dak Prescott as 5. So I think if CeeDee Lamb is going to have that and they already have comeback player of the year, highest odds being Dak Prescott. It's gonna be one of those things where he's got CD, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson, a backfield full of talent. We don't know who's gonna go first, but I mean,
Right.
they and Cowboys O line always is good, right? They're never struggling on the O line. They always have big boys up front.
Yep.
But I generally do think that just kind of the same reason we both put Burrow at 3. They might not have the running ability, but you're talking about maybe a 4K 30 plus touchdown season. It's like that's going to get you into the top 5, especially if I think CeeDee Lamb's going to win Offensive Player of the Year. Running backs.
Oh wait,
Running
but
backs.
wait before we.
Oh, that's right. I put honorable mention as well. Sorry,
Yeah.
I did apply. That's on me.
So, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. I was looking at rookies maybe that haven't proven themselves yet, right? I snuck JJ McCarthy in here in this spot.
Okay.
So to me, he's still a rookie because obviously completely shut down, didn't even get a chance to play his rookie year. So to me, it's his first year in the league, let's say, essentially. I think he's got a great opportunity with the Vikings. I'm excited to see what he can do. There's a lot of doubts on can he throw this ball to JJ.
Yep.
He just didn't do it as much when he was in Michigan. I think he's got the arm talent, he's got the mentality, he's got the mind, he knows the game. I mean, this dude meditates before the games, right? I mean, I think he's got that cool, calm, and collective nature you need as a quarterback in the NFL.
Yep.
Obviously, we just have to wait and see if it translates.
Yep. I think I don't hate it. As a JJ McCarthy dynasty owner, like I don't hate it whatsoever. I want him to be good. I do think the Michigan Blue bleeds out of you a little bit on there. You want him to be really good.
Probably.
And it's conflicting for you because Detroit and Minnesota, whatever else. But I mean, you got to realize he's going into a great situation that a lot of these quarterbacks wish they can go into. And even if he has success this year, I think people look at it and say, look at all the weapons around him, right? Talk about Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison missed the first 4 games of the season, right? What do? They go out and get Adam Thielen, right? You know, one of the best route runners, one of the most consistent guys. Bryce Young's favorite target, right? It got Bryce Young going, right? I mean, look at the years that look at the games that Adam Thielen had and then Bryce Young had. They were comparable. If Bryce Young had a good game, it was because Adam Thielen had 8 catches for 70 yards, 100 yards, whatever it was, couple touchdowns, whatever it was. It's like the guy is consistent. Him and Justin Jefferson are a great 1-2, and then you put Addison in the mix when he comes back. TJ Hawkinson, right? Aaron Jones in the backfield, Jordan Mason in the backfield. It's like he's set up for success. There is now, can he do it? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out very, very soon.
Yeah.
With that first matchup being against Chicago, it's gonna be. I think it's in Chicago as well, so it's gonna be a tough one to figure out if this guy's, but we'll find out. I put my honorable mention was Justin Herbert. I had him just outside of it. It was just because of the running ability. I know I have him an MVP, but I think MVP is a lot more than just stats because we've seen Mahomes get an MVP even in a season where he's not, necessarily the top like stat guy. They just went, 14-2 back in a 16 game schedule. But like, if I'm gonna put him in MVP, he just missed. I think Prescott has more passing yards because their run game is gonna be less effective as the Chargers and so on. But running backs. I'll go first on this one.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Just because you went Allen, Jackson, Burrow, Hurts, and that's literally what I have written down. But I don't want people thinking that I'm just making up. So that way, if I release these off and you're like, hey, that's what I had, but I mean, right. Well, we already talked about it. Bijan is number 1, right? Bijan's number 1, clear cut. I mean, like there was a chance this year that if I had the number 1 pick in fantasy drafts, I wasn't going Chase, I was going Bijan, just because I want a running back and he's the guy that could do it all, like you said. He's CMC, but way younger and has knees, right? But then Gibbs, which I'm sure we're probably perfect 2 for 2 right now.
2 for 2.
This one's where I'm going to lose you. I went CMC because, like I told you, comeback player of the year. I really do think he's going to go up there. And then I had Barkley and then Taylor at the 5. I think Taylor cracks the 5. That's the one. I know. I have an honorable mention as well, but Taylor at the 5 is my one. I sneak him in top 5. It's the same thing as I made my case with CMC already, right? I don't need to go down that road. But Jonathan Taylor with a quarterback who is like in their Sam Darnold and like Baker Mayfield spot of like, this is my second chance. I cannot fuck this up. I need to be able to throw the football. I think that opens up the field for him. And that Colts offensive line is very good. And I just think the thing that limits him the most is the fact that they just do not have a pass game. So it's like if they can pass the football and it's not going to Jonathan Taylor 25 times a game, it's going to free up so much when they're not stacking the box on him. So that's why I had to throw him in top 5. I'm very high on him this
Okay.
season. I think he could be top 3 if something happens to any of those guys that we have in there.
Yeah. So you're right. I had Bijan, Gibbs, Barkley at 3. I snuck in Derrick Henry. Obviously,
I know.
if you listen to the podcast last year, you probably knew my sentiment for Derrick Henry was he's scoring a touchdown every single week. He's and he damn near he nearly did.
Yep. Your
So
projection was him to break the rushing touchdown record.
yep. So I've got him at 4, and for me, CMC slid all the way down to 5. Just with an asterisk over, can he stay healthy?
Yep.
That's my only thing why I can't. I agree with you, lockstep. If he stays healthy,
he's so dangerous.
He's gonna put up those numbers. But if he has, even if they put him on a rest, right? Even if they sit him out a couple games, that just knocks down his value to me. So, with that, we kind of talked about it before. I'm still sticking with a rookie here on my honorable mention because we have to wait and see. And so that's Ashton Genty.
Yep. My honorable mention is Ashton Genty, and I did Slash because I figured like obviously that's the biggest what is going to happen with that guy. But one thing I want to throw in there was Kyren Williams. Kyren Williams, the last 2 years, same with James Cook, they both have 30+ touchdowns in the last 2 seasons. And it's just like one of those things where no one really talks about it. It's just like these guys are literally just touchdown machines, averaging 15 touchdowns a season, and no one's putting them in top 5. It's kind of crazy. But for some reason, we just don't. I know. And every year, people said it last year about Kyren Williams. You're like, Blake Corum. Remember Blake Corum? Everyone was high on Blake Corum. And then Kyren Williams, 20 touchdowns again. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Listen, I completely agree. But with Sean McVay,
I know
he does not give a shit who is back
once you're on his list, dude. Like if you're on the list of like we don't want you here anymore, you're done. You're absolutely
he's
done.
Gonna literally he overnight he can decide he wants somebody else to
wake up in the middle of the night sweating.
Yeah, he says I'm throwing in Blake Corum. Like you know what I mean? Like and once he does that, now that guy's the touchdown machine. That guy's getting the ball. So that's the only caveat I put towards that is
absolutely.
If he puts somebody else in that backfield, they're set up for success.
Yeah.
But then he loses his opportunity.
Yeah.
So,
but I put Kyren there just because it was like, dude, he's got such a nose for the end zone. He just does. He's so good. He really is. Wide receiver. This one's always so tough. It's always so tough. I feel like when it comes to wide receiver, you're talking about top 5 and because these are fantasy rankings, guys. This is not like so everything's involved, right? It could be touchdowns, catches, whatever. Like this is not receiving yards or touch. This is just fantasy football. So one of these guys might sneak in because he had 16 touchdowns and not as many receiving yards as someone else, right? So, but wide receiver, I had to go number 1, like CeeDee Lamb, if I think that's going to be, that's going to be offensive player of the year. Like that's my number 1 wide receiver. I went Jamar Chase then, had to go next. I spiced it up a little bit. I debated between 3 and 4. So I think my 3 and 4 picks are very swappable. If that's even swappable is a word.
Yeah.
Brian Thomas Jr. at 3 and St. Brown at 4. I had St. Brown, I crossed it, and then I went Thomas, and then I was like, and then I have JJ at 5, just because we've literally talked about it, right? The guy played 10 games with 4 quarterbacks at the one season and still put up 1,000 yards. Like the guy's a freak. Like the guy is just, if someone could throw him the football, if he's healthy enough, he's gonna find the football. Like, so that's my 5: Lamb, Chase, Thomas Jr., St. Brown, and JJ.
All right, so I stuck kind of just conventional of kind of how everybody's being projected. So Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra. Only reason I kind of keep him down there is, again, you lose your offensive coordinator.
It's a big question.
And then I'm kind of parlaying that into, I think Jameson Williams is gonna have an opportunity now, and then you have this rookie coming in.
Tesla.
Spoiler alert. Isaac Tesla, who's gonna.
And you guys just traded
Tim Patrick. Yep. Who's in that number 3 spot. I think it's to make way for him to have an opportunity.
I saw
So
like stock way up on Tesla.
yeah, so it kind of
Not
when you have
Elon
your
Musk. Sorry.
when you have your market share in the passing game, which is great for the Lions
Yep.
that it can be spread out. I think that's why I kept him down, even though my homer pick would want to push him up a little bit higher. I think that's the only reason that it would in the fantasy
Can
world.
we both have him at 4?
Yep.
Yep.
And then you threw in Brian Thomas right there as the kind of surprise pick. I pushed Nico Collins up to that 5
I
spot.
know. He didn't make my
Um,
cut, and even my honorable mention, spoiler alert, he did not make it for me.
yeah,
I think he's got all the talent. I really do. I struggle. They have no running backs. Joe Mixon's out. Nick Chubb looks terrible. Their offensive line is god awful.
yeah,
I don't know if CJ Stroud's gonna make it this season. Like, it's like it's so tough because he's so good. I do like Nico. Like I
yeah,
do. It's just like I was like, man, that's kind of where I was like Thomas Jr. Look at the year that he had last year, and Trevor struggled, right? So
yeah.
it's like if they can figure it out with Liam Cohen, it's like, but who was your honorable mention then?
So Isaac Tesla.
Okay. Wow,
Uh,
you're going okay.
yep.
All right.
The other name. I'll wait to hear yours. Um, but I had 3 names written down. So
Okay.
um,
You can rip them off. Go ahead.
it's Mbuka and Golden.
Okay. Yeah. That like Buka and Matthew Golden have a lot of hype around them. And
Yep.
I think Buka really is gonna have a spot, especially with Godwin missing about I think they said the first 4 weeks. So I think Ibuka is really going to be able to
Well,
showcase, and Baker loves him, right? I
so
mean,
I did look at that. It's interesting because they didn't put him on the
I
what is
know.
it, the
People
pup.
got hype. Yeah, the PUP.
So he's not. So I mean, he still could miss the first 4, but that means they think he might be good by
I
week
know.
4 if they're
But why
not
rush
doing
him
that.
back, especially if you have a rookie that is impressing the coaches
Yep.
and the quarterback, right? Um, my it's funny now that I look at this, you'll see what I'll talk about it here in a little bit. But I took Drake London. I know it's
Okay.
one up there. I just think he had a great. People don't realize he put up like 1,100 yards last year. It's like it is sneaky
A
1,100
lot
yards or
a
something like that.
lot of that
And
was where with
Michael
Kirk
Penix.
Cousins though. No,
No,
no, no.
a lot.
At the beginning is where he had a lot of his
Yeah, that's
yards.
true. He did. Kirk Cousins did have that 500 plus yard game or whatever. But
Yeah.
I still just think I don't think I don't think Michael Penix is the guy that's going to be running the football like Lamar. I think it's one of those things where he's a strong armed quarterback that is going to throw the football. Like, and I really think that like they're going to get him moving. Like I think London. I mean, he's only like 23, 24. I think he's 24. I just think 1,100 yards. Like he was very consistent in fantasy last year. I really think that he could squeeze his way into the top 5 if things just go his way.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you
Um,
have a run game. Again, it's one of those
yep,
things where defense can't, that you try to stack the box again on that, then you can throw over the top.
yep,
So
absolutely.
I can see it.
Um, tight ends though, I feel like it's probably gonna be the most names is gonna be like because tight ends are just a lot slimmer, right, in terms of for fantasy.
Yep.
Um, maybe a couple might shock, but obviously Bowers, right? Bowers number
Bowers on
one.
top.
I'm sure my 2 and 3 are mixed up with yours. I went Bowers 1, Kittle 2, McBride 3. I'm sure you went McBride 2, Kittle 3.
Yep.
I just think it's the
Swap those.
volume that we talked about earlier with Kittle, the volume with the 49ers. I do like McBride, but only 1 touchdown coming in the last week of the NFL, and it was or the last game of the NFL season for him, and it was a rushing touchdown. It's not very hopeful for me to be putting him 2 at least.
But
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 then I stuck in
111
I know.
receptions.
No, I know. I know. It's
So
there. I just was like until Kittle's been doing it, right? It's like
true.
and it's on an offense that needs him so badly. He might be literally the number 1 receiving like receiver like
Yeah.
for them at the end of the season. Um but then I put Evan Ingram at 4 and Travis Kelce at 5. Yeah, I couldn't put I couldn't take him out. I couldn't take Kelce out. Like he was still top 5 last year. Still was
Yeah.
number 5 tight end last year, and they slowed him down. They didn't even let him finish the whole season. Like it's like the
No,
guy literally and now he's got a fiance now. Like
I
what are
know.
we
So
gonna
he's gonna
do?
be busy. He's gonna be busy
Mm.
planning a wedding. He's not gonna
I-
he's not gonna be focused on
I'm gonna say this
football.
right now before you get into yours. I don't think I'm tuning into a single primetime game for the Kansas City Chiefs.
You don't want to hear it
Nope.
16
Nope.
times that he okay.
Nope. Or just listen to it Espanol and just not know what the fuck they're saying and just like let them.
There you go.
It's gonna be so bad, dude.
Yes. Yes. It's not gonna stop. So here's where I differed. 4, I put this is a comeback year for Sam Laporta. I think again we saw the decline between years 1 and 2. I think he's got the talent. I think he comes back.
Yep. I saw an interesting thing. I don't know. Do you know off the top of your head who your offensive coordinator is or no? I don't know if you just knew off the top
right now.
Yeah.
No.
No, you're fine. But I just saw a thing that whatever offense he was in before, he utilizes the tight end like top 6 or top 5 in the entire NFL or something like that. So they really think that Sam Laporta is going to have a bounce back. I've been seeing things all
Yep.
over the place about how the new offensive coordinator utilizes tight ends a lot more. So
Yep. And then we kind of talked about
Taylor Swift.
JJ McCarthy, success of that offense.
Oh, you couldn't do it. You had to go back to back Lions guy. You had
So
to.
I went back to back. TJ
Oh my
Hawkinson.
gosh, this guy.
Again, coming off an injury.
No Evan Ingram for you. No love. No love.
He's got a chance, but no, it's not. It's not like a Kyle Pitts scenario where is he going to do it again this year? But no, I love Evan Ingram, again, reception machine. But no, so that's my 5, and then again I went with rookies of who have an opportunity in the offenses they're in. I put 2 here for tight end, Tyler Warren. I love those Big Ten tight ends.
Tight ends.
And Colston Loveland.
Where do you play college football at?
University of Michigan.
Gotcha. You guys new here. You guys know what's going on with all these picks. Just you guys see it. You guys.
I mean, but again, it's big.
He bleeds blue, chat. He bleeds blue.
Hey, if they were from Iowa, if they were tight ends from Iowa, I'd be telling you the same thing. It's this. That's true. The Big Ten tight ends translate to the NFL.
Yeah. My honorable mention, like I said, the only rookie that I had on there was Genty. For the tight end, I had to throw in there because I'm extremely high on him, and it could be a flop. So, I mean, take me at my word or don't, your choice. But I really do think Brendan Strange, who's the tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's going to take over for Evan Ingram this year. He's the number 1 tight end. He's got no one really competing with him. And last year, when he did come in with a hurt Evan Ingram, he caught 14 passes from Trevor Lawrence. So I think Trevor Lawrence tends to just want to dump it off to that safety valve as the tight end. I really think that Brendan Strange, and then of course I just put a little asterisk next to Kyle Pitts, just to like.
Hey,
it's what do we say this year? Right? Kyle Pitts. They play golf together.
Yeah, this year is Kyle Pitts' year.
Yeah.
If we've said it before, which we've said it a million times.
He's still like 24.
Yeah,
it's his year though. They play golf together. So yeah, that's our top 5 fantasy rankings. We'll see, at some point in the season how these end up being. Hopefully we can get 2. I think if I could get 2 of them out of the top 5 right, I think I'd take that success rate. That's what, 40%. That's pretty good. Yeah. But we'll see, man. I mean, the fantasy season is a really, really weird season. But that is not all we have for you guys. We got one more thing. We're gonna do our division winners, our projections. So I'll start off first. These are who I have the division leaders to be. We were gonna list them off like 1, 2, 3, 4, but I think that would just take too much time. But we'll just start off AFC North. I have the Ravens until someone can beat them. It's one of those things where they are the juggernaut team, and they have been loading up on defense again to get that defense back to what it used to be. I think it's really tough to stop Lamar and Henry and Zay Flowers, and not to mention they got Hopkins, right? Not that that's going to matter because that's where wide receivers go to die at the end of their careers. But it's just, I mean, between the Ravens and Bills, they're tough to stop. There's really not much to say about these teams, right? It's their division until someone takes it from them. And right now, with the Bengals that we saw last year, I'm just not convinced. I'm just not 100% convinced yet until I see how many times last year did me and you do the pick'ems and we got burnt out by the Bengals. My record would have been so much better if I just stopped taking the Bengals, right? Which leads me down. I'm going to skip one. The Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs every single week this entire season. If you tuned in last year, I am so tired of the bullshit. Every time I picked against them is the wrong time. Every time I was convinced every time to pick against them, and I fell for it. I'm done. I'm picking the refs. I mean the Chiefs every week, and that's how I'm gonna win pick'ems this year. That's how I'm gonna
Okay.
win it. The Texans though in the AFC South, I really don't see. I think the Colts are year two out. I think the Titans maybe are year two out on the Cam Ward thing. And I just don't know about the Jaguars still. Like the new, I still can't get. I still have the ick is what these girls say nowadays about Liam Cohen with the Duval. I
Yeah,
still like
that's
it.
bad.
I wake up some nights like it, and that's what I hear, and it is like it's disgusting. So like I can't pick anyone, even though I'm terrified of the Texans O line for CJ Stroud. Um, One thing that does go missed about the Texans is like they actually had a top defense last year with D'Amico Ryan. So that's something that people do tend to forget about is the Texans defense was legit last year,
Yeah.
especially towards the end. They really heated up there. The top two picks on the NFC side, right? I mean, it's obvious. That's number one seed, number two seed sitting right there. The Lions, number two seed, and then the Eagles, number one seed.
We'll
And
see.
then yeah. But I mean, look, it's interchangeable. I think we'll both be happy if we're sitting there at the end of the year looking at
Yep.
this episode and we're both saying that. It's their divisions till they lose it. There's really not much else to say. You know, that's our teams. We're not going to pick against them, right?
Yep.
Fuck the Cowboys. Buccaneers though, I went against it last year and I picked the Falcons. They burned me out. I rode the Kirk O chains hype. I really did. I was all in. I thought he was going to do great. He did. He was doing great.
It
Yeah, he
looked
was
good.
doing great. They were like 6-2 at one point. They were exactly what I thought they were going to be, and they let me down. I do think the Falcons can sneak into a wild card spot. I could see them winning the NFC South, but once again, I'm going to stick with what it is, with Baker and all, what's going on in Tampa. But the little bit of shocker that I had was Seattle here. Sam Darnold, new quarterback there, right? Cooper Kupp there, JSN ready to go. Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet. I mean, and not to mention how good their defense got with the old Baltimore Ravens defensive coordinator as their head coach now, who really has made Seattle's defense good again. So I just think I'm looking at the Rams, right? Stafford might even make it 4 games, right?
Yep. His back
We
is
don't
gonna
even know.
explode.
NFC West, I mean, the Cardinals, I'm still not all in on, right? And then you got the 49ers, who we all took last year.
Yep.
And they just got hurt on us. At the end of the day, that's just what happens. They all just got hurt on us. And we're looking in the season. Ayuk out, Debo traded. Like we said earlier, it's like it's just all question marks. And it's just like I can't commit to as much as I want it. If CMC explodes, I could see them being NFC West, but I had to go with Seattle. So those are my picks. I think me and you have like 3 or 4 picks. I think it was 3 or 4.
3, 4.
Yeah, I think it's 4. We have the Bills. No, just 3 then. No, 4. You're right. Yeah, we have Bills, Texans, Eagles, and Lions together. So, but these are Matt's picks, obviously.
Yep. So the difference I had is you talked about it, the AFC North. If I'm counting on Joe Burrow, putting together another good season and having a chance at MVP, I think in order to do that, you win that division, you make the playoffs, then you have that opportunity. So I'm putting them ahead this time of the Ravens. And then my surprise, well, if you watched last year, I'm still high on AFC West going to the Chargers. I think they are able to get those upsets against the Kansas City Chiefs and the refs that they need. You hit everything on the head. It's the coaching that kind of brings it all together there. Justin Herbert having a great year. And I think that, to me, that's my shocker. I did it last year. Let's try again this year. I think I'm going to be right this year, though. I think that's the difference maker. But I don't blame you. The right choice is probably the Kansas City Chiefs. It's really hard to dethrone them, but
I think I'd be happier if you were right. Like even if I was wrong and that was my pick wrong, I think I would rather have the Chargers. Like
we need to see it.
I think a lot of people would be happy.
So they stopped just talking about Taylor Swift.
Gosh.
So to me, the difference maker I have in the NFC South, again, I'm high on Bijan Robinson. I really think that the Falcons have an opportunity, but in a South division that's not that great. That Saints just announced what's his name, Radler, as their starting quarterback.
Arch Manning waiting to happen there.
Yeah. So to me, I think Falcon. To me, that's always a toss up, is that South division. So there, I'm going the Falcons, and then put an asterisk next to it. CMC healthy, 49ers take that division as well.
Absolutely. I mean, if I were going to swap anything out, those would be the ones I would swap out. Like maybe consider, the Broncos, AFC West. It's like Broncos could be up there too,
That'd be
I mean,
interesting.
yeah. But I mean, like I said, it's gonna be cool because we have these graphics made. So we're gonna be able to look back at that at the end of the season and kind of look at that and be like, how close were we? Out of 8, what did we get right? You know what I mean? But yeah, well, I'm happy, dude. A week from basically today when this gets released, we have the first matchup, right? And it's gonna be the Eagles versus the Cowboys in Philly. They get to watch us raise the Super Bowl fucking banner. It's gonna be fucking amazing. It's an Eagles fans' wet dream. Like the only thing that can ruin my entire NFL season is if we lose week 1 of that to them, because that'd be the worst thing ever. But I mean, we're happy to be back. Just to give you guys an update, if you guys stuck all the way through this, we appreciate you guys so much. I know that was a lot of information, but it was fun. We'd love to throw those out there. We're gonna be making more clips of our podcast being talked, and hope that a lot of those that stuff gets clipped to start posting on our socials. As you guys see on our starting and our ending thing that we got, our little intro outro, we do have our socials on there. So make sure you guys are following on our socials. But yeah, I mean, next week when we go into this, there's going to be no like trivia, no like DK stuff like that, right? It's just going to be more so of us doing a little intro, like we did start this one out, and then just diving right into the games, right? So we want to get under that 45-minute. I know this one's getting closer to the hour marker, but it's because we had a lot more stuff to get through,
right?
With it being the first episode. But I felt like we got through it at a pretty fast pace. But yeah, next week and every single week going on, it's going to be 45 minutes or below, just sticking straight to pretty much the matchups, keeping our records, held accountable, our consensus pick held accountable, and everything else. And then we'll probably throw in our 2-leg parlays back into the mix. But other than that, it's going to be very straightforward, and our socials will be a lot more interactive, fun talks, and kind of things that are going on around the league, right? Things that happen. We all know the NFL season gets very, very crazy on the things that can happen. Especially with all the trades already happening, right? There's already a crazy amount of stuff going on. Rashee Rice 6 games, Addison's 4 games, Thielen traded, Cook back to Saints, and yada yada yada. But yeah, it was fun. If you guys stuck all the way through it, we do appreciate you guys. Feel free to leave as many comments as you guys want, suggesting things, asking questions. One thing we would love to do, I know Matt, me and you talked about it, was we would love to have you guys comment something that you would like us to bring up, so we can always just, we'll even make whether it's if we reach it on an episode, or if we reach it to you guys on the socials, of just responding to those comments with our answers or our thoughts or opinions on whatever it is. That's something that we would love to do and love to start building. So if you do that, thank you ahead of time. We appreciate you. And other than that, I got nothing else to say, man.
Yeah,
you got anything for us?
No, good to be back, and looking forward to next show, which is our week 1 start the season.
Every week we're going to post at Thursday at noon Central, so 1 p.m. Eastern for you Eastern folks. But we didn't miss a single week last year. We got all the way through it last year. So if you stick along with us, we appreciate it. And I think that's it for this one. So we appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys are subscribed, and leave us a comment. Let me know. Let's hear who's watching. We want to know, like, who's still like tuning in to see if we're doing this or not. We would love to hear from you. And we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.